on. Mike's on.
All right, a little after 4, Yankee baseball comes your way at 6 tonight. Pregame show at 6. First pitch, 6:35. Keuchel against Severino. We're coming to you live from the Town Fair Tire Studios, powered by Town Fair Tire. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Here's the Yankee lineup tonight. It's a different one. Hicks in center, Judge in right, Stanton in left. That's your 1, 2, 3. Sanchez is the DH batting 4th. Austin at first batting 5th. Torres batting 6th. Didi 7th. Andujar, Romine, Severino. So Romine, who's been hitting well, is the catcher batting 9th. Andujar batting 8th. Didi's batting 7th, the only lefty in the lineup. And then you have Hicks, Judge, Stanton, Sanchez, Austin, Torres. Then Didi, Andujar, Romine with Severino against Keuchel this evening. So they show Austin, who they clearly are showcasing and still want to use some at first base. And you have him playing. Walker's not getting any time right now. He's the guy on the bench. And remember, we'll see what they do long term here because they have promised this team that they would bring Torres back. Let's see where that takes us in the days to come. Torres has got to stay in the minors for 10 days. But you have Austin in the lineup tonight. Torres batting 6th, which I don't love. But you know what? It's right now they're trying to kind of piece it together day by day. Frank in Verona. What's up, Frank?
Hey, Mike. Put aside the glaring lack of talent on this Mets team. There is no leadership on this team. And as a Mets fan, it's completely embarrassing.
I think leadership is overrated, though, sometimes. I agree. But when you're in a funk like this, it is nice to have people in the clubhouse that sort of know how to win, know how to pull the team out, know how to scrape by in tight games. I don't want to see ONeill screwing around in the dugout last night. If he can't be a leader when he's not on the field and not playing, he should stay home because it's embarrassing. You're making a big deal out of the glasses.
Yeah.
I don't.
I'm not making a big deal out of it, but it's indicative of a bigger problem on this team, that there's no leader.
Well, to me...
There's a lost group of guys.
Listen, to me, that they brought Frazier in to be a leader. That's what he is. He's a guy who's a unifying guy. That's who he is. Cespedes does not want to lead this team that way. Now, he is the focal point of the team, but he does not want to lead. First of all, he doesn't want to be the guy standing in front. See, every team needs a guy standing in front of his locker who's going to give the media the direction, is going to give the State of the Union every day. You need a guy, and no, Cespedes doesn't want to do that. And on this team now, Frazier would be. It can't be a pitcher. It's got to be an everyday player. And Frazier now was going to become that on this team. That's the case. He was going to become that. You need to have that on a team, and this team doesn't have a lot of that. And that's what Frazier was going to bring them this year. They need Cespedes to get back. You see, Cespedes is one of those rare players who can carry a team. He has shown that. He can get hot enough and really make a huge impact on a team. And right now, him being out is a devastating blow to this franchise. There's no question. They really can never operate right when they don't have him in the lineup. I mean, that's just the way they're built right now. They're very much reliant on him. And I mean, to each his own. If you don't like the thing with I don't worry that much about him with the glasses. If he was playing and he was doing that, it would bother me more than him just, trying to lighten up the mood when he's not playing. Ryan in Breezy Point. What's up, Ryan?
Hey, Mike. At some point on this program, I'm hoping the Mets situation becomes beyond redress because it's like Groundhog Day every day. They have a culture problem over there. But with regards to the Yankees situation, I don't understand how on this program we have callers calling in that have now identified Gregorius as disposable. He carried the Yankees at moments with big spots in the postseason last year. He got you out of the wild card game with that big early home run. And, just couldn't hit the ball off a tee in the postseason.
There's a lot of guys on this team who can be disposable. I mean, that's just the way it is. Stanton can be disposable on this team.
Mike, if you let me finish my point, you made a comment earlier that Gardner was a Yankee from head to toe.
He is.
Having guys like that in the locker room with Gregorius, I mean, you said plenty of times earlier this year that he was starting to look like a guy who could fit into that category. Sometimes you need more than one of those, Mike. And he started to get really comfortable here in New York. I don't understand how after a month, a rough May, that we're going to suddenly label him as disposable.
What if Torres is a better player at the position?
He may be a better player at the position, Mike, but I wouldn't be quick to dismiss his stuff on Gregorius after what he did in the postseason last year.
What if that is a fact, though?
It can certainly be a factor. I'm not saying it's not.
Well, if it is, then you have to decide.
Disposable.
Not disposable. 30
days after he was named AL Player of the Month.
Listen, everybody can be disposable. I mean, listen, you know what? Very few guys have to be here for a long period of time. You have to decide at certain points, are you going to pay a guy or are you going to move a guy? I mean, that's what you do when guys become available. I mean, that's just the way it is. And I'm not saying that they have to move Didi. What I'm saying is it's just another option they would have if Torres is if they consider Torres a better player at the position, it gives them other options. That's all. Doesn't mean they have to go that way. Doesn't mean that Torres has to play shortstop. But if you have that option, and you can move him to shortstop and maybe package Didi for a pitcher and then go sign another left-handed hitter, well, you use your resources a different way. That's all. That's the way it works. That's how it works. You know, that's how they do it. That's how baseball works. And if they decided to package Stanton and he wanted to go somewhere and he agreed to go there, you know, that could happen too. Not everybody has to be here the whole time. I mean, that's the way things work. Jeff in Connecticut. What's up, Jeff?
Yeah, hey, what's up, Mike? I had a trade I was going to bring up with you for Baumgartner. Justice Sheffield, Clint Frazier, and Gary Sanchez. They get it done, or is it too rich?
Oh, my God. You're not giving them Sanchez. They're not. Yes, too rich.
Yeah, but he's disposable with the hitting that this team has. You even said you put a good defensive backstop in there.
Oh, no, I don't want to get...
He's got plenty of power.
I don't want to... No, you're giving up too much.
You need a bulldog. I mean, I think Baumgartner's the guy that will lock down the
listen, I agree with you about Baumgartner, but you're giving up way too much. You're giving up too much. You cannot put Sanchez in that deal. You know, Sanchez is a guy you want to keep right now. You want to see what's there. You want to see if this can get better. I mean, you don't have many guys who can catch and hit like that. It makes a big difference. EJ in Allentown, what's up, EJ?
Michael, how you doing, man?
Good. What's happening?
Did you watch the Yankee game last night?
Yeah.
Did you hear Paul O'Neill's comment when Greg Bird hit the double down the left field line?
I wasn't home when in the first inning.
Okay. Paul O'Neill, listen, as a Met fan, I am so thankful to have the announcers we do because the Yankee announcers are just god-awful.
What did Paul O'Neill say? I wasn't home yet.
Greg Bird hit a flail down the
left field line, yes.
And it landed inside the chalk.
Okay.
And he didn't bust it out of the box, and he almost got thrown out at second. A good throw would have had him. And O'Neill, as a great player, loved him as a player, I'm not even a Yankee fan, said, that's what you do as a left-handed hitter. You kind of jog in place a little bit just to judge to see if the ball's going to be fair or foul before you take off. And then he almost gets thrown out, and Kay and Cone don't say a damn word about it.
Well, listen, that doesn't make any sense that O'Neill would not. Paul O'Neill never did hustle. So, and I didn't see him. First of all, Bird didn't get in a triple. Okay, I don't care where it's going. He's not getting a triple. Now, I didn't see the play, so I will only comment on things I watched and heard. I didn't hear that. I didn't see it because it was the first inning. I wasn't home yet. But, again, he's not getting a triple, and so maybe it's a ball that hit the chalk and went into the stand. I don't know where the ball went. I didn't see it. But, again, we all know. So maybe he could have got on him for not hustling. I don't know. I'd have to watch it to see it myself. I really couldn't comment. This is, I'm not sure your name. What's your name? How do you say
Steve
it?
from Roslyn. Uzi.
What's your name?
Uzi.
Uzi. Okay, Uzi. Oh, go ahead. What's your real name?
All right. That is my real name, actually.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, this is the proposed trade. Yankees get DeGrom. The Mets get 3 of the next 4 players, and if you have to push for all 4, you give them them.
4 players?
Clint Frazier. Well, listen, you give Clint Frazier.
Right.
You give Andujar because you can sign.
Okay.
You can sign Machado. You're going to give him Tyler Austin and Austin Romine. 3 of those 4 for DeGrom. I think it works for both teams.
I don't think you'd have to give all 4. It's not outrageous. I don't think that they will be making a deal, but your deal is not crazy. You've given the Mets some workable players. I think if you gave the Mets Frazier, Andujar, and Austin, you would be giving them enough. I don't think you'd have to throw Romine in. Romine deserves a chance to be an everyday catcher somewhere because I think he actually can be an everyday catcher somewhere. I always thought Cervelli could be an everyday catcher. I think Romine can be an everyday catcher. Frazier, Andujar, Austin are giving them 3 guys that would start for them. So to me, that would be giving them enough players. That would be definitely enough. And I think that's a very, very equitable deal. I just don't think the deal will happen. Joe in the Bronx, what's up, Joe?
Hey, Mike, how we doing?
Good. What's happening?
Mike, I don't know if I'm unique in this, but I wasn't a big Stanton fan on getting Stanton. So you're one of the rare ones because most of the fans were crazy when they got him. So yeah, I wasn't on board. I would have rather seen our money go or Yankees money go for a pitcher, but that didn't happen. Would you ever trade Stanton if you get somebody for him, a starting pitcher quality at this point?
I believe Stanton has a no trade in his contract. So we're trading Stanton only to places he wants to go, which to me I understand to be the Dodgers. I don't think there's any place else he would accept a deal to that I know of. So that limits you to one team to send him to. Is that possible? Maybe. I don't know how the Dodgers feel about that right now, but I believe Stanton does have a complete no trade. I'm pretty sure he does. That's my understanding that he does. So if that's the case, you've limited a lot of what he can do. John in Toms River, what's up, John?
Hey, Mike, how are you?
What's happening?
Good. Two quick points, if you don't mind. First of all, people want to bury Brett Gardner, beginning of the year. I love Gardner. He's been a gamer. He's clutch. He's a veteran. And before the Yankees, I actually didn't want Stanton from day one. I'm not second guessing. I said it from day one. I don't like it. But the point is,
I had not had a call of anybody knocking Stanton. Most people knocked me for saying I didn't want it.
I know.
Everyone knocked me for saying I didn't.
I agree with you.
I never had one person agree with me until this week about this trade.
Listen. I don't know. I remember calling one.
Everybody killed me for saying that I didn't want this guy.
All right, whatever it is. Okay. Well, I remember calling about it. But the point is that before the Yankees decide that Aaron Hicks is a future center fielder, do not brush aside what Brett Gardner has done to the Yankees, and the Yankees should have signed him for a couple-year extension, 2 years.
No,
Mike,
no, they should.
Aaron Hicks is not the future outfielder. I don't like it. I like having a veteran, a clutch guy. Yankees don't need a star at every position. Brett Gardner is a perfect Yankee for a couple years. I just think he's clutch. What does Gardy have left after this year? What's his contract? He's going to be 35. He's
unrestricted after this year.
This year, this is the last year for sure. There's no buyout. There's no nothing. There's no club buyout. Club option for how much? 12, so they can control him for $12.5 million for next year, or
$2 million buyout.
$2 million buyout, or so there's $10 million difference. They owe him $2 million anyway, or they can keep him for $12 million. So that's $10 million if you want to bring him back for next year, which is a reasonable amount of money to pay him if you want to bring him back next year. So I would not rule out bringing him back next year on the last year of that deal for $12 million. That's not the end of the world. They could do that. I'm not saying they automatically will, but they could do that. I could see him being the fourth outfielder next year and still playing. They like Hicks a lot. I think a lot of it will depend on what Stanton's future is here. Did he want to, discuss anything about leaving? Would he discuss, would he like the Yankees to discuss that after the season's over? If not, then obviously you have Stanton, Hicks, and you have Judge and Gardner again for next year, and you could go forward with that. I'm not putting Ellsbury in the mix. Sorry, I'm not doing that. Tom in New Jersey, what's up, Tom?
Yeah, so two things. One, about Stanton, and I think people seem to think that Cashman getting Stanton was in place of trying to get a pitcher. Like, Cashman was still trying to get pitchers in the offseason. It just didn't shake out.
Who said he didn't? Who said he didn't?
So he got Stanton. So it wasn't like it was.
Well,
he
didn't get Stanton. You see, he didn't really go after Stanton. Stanton was kind of dumped in his lap. I mean, they didn't have any real interest in Stanton. It's just that Jeter came to them as a fallback when he couldn't trade him to the two teams that he agreed to deals with Stanton wouldn't agree, the Giants and the Cardinals, and then he needed to put him somewhere. He had basically burned his britches with Stanton. He had to send him somewhere, so he sent him to the Yankees for a package that was something the Yankees couldn't pass up. It was just a deal they could not pass up, which I understand. They weren't out looking for him. First of all, they wanted Ohtani in the worst way, but Ohtani wouldn't play here. That's where the Yankees were desperate for Ohtani. They absolutely were furious that Ohtani wasn't interested in them. And then when that, the Stanton thing happened, they had to take it because it was offered to him at such a reasonable price, they had to say yes. So that's how it happens. They weren't out there looking for him. Mike in Floral Park, what's up, Mike?
Hey, Mike. Mike, just one thought about Justify. He's going to have a tough time in the Belmont. That race was brutal.
Yeah, no, I got to see the field, but he'll have a tough time. But he's capable of winning the race, too.
Oh, my God, absolutely. But, Mike, that race was absolutely brutal. That track was devastatingly bad. Hey, Mike, just a thought about the Yankees. They definitely need a guy like DeGrom. They need a guy to give them length.
Oh, I totally agree. I just do not see them trading DeGrom to the Yankees.
Here's who I want. Mike, tell me if this is not enough or too much.
Go ahead.
I want Frazier, I want Betances, and I want Torreyes. Then I'm going to turn around, and I'm going to trade Familia to Houston, and I'm going to stock up on as many draft picks as I can get. The Mets need guys.
You want Torreyes?
I like that guy. He's a guy that
I don't think he's an everyday player. I think he's a really good utility man, but I don't know if he's an everyday player.
He's not, but he's what the Mets need. They need a guy that can actually plug the holes. The guys they have, they can't do anything.
You want a Frazier? You want a Frazier and Betances? You would get. They would even. I mean, they'd even. Now, listen, they like Torreyes, as you know, for them because he has a role for them. They like Torreyes. They would actually do that deal. What they would do in a heartbeat, the Mets. I mean, that deal's a steal for them. Frazier and Betances for DeGrom. They do that in a second. Yankees. Jeff in Oceanside. What's up, Jeff?
Hey, Mike. How you doing today?
What's happening?
I love my Mets. I just noticed yesterday they played with 24 guys. They didn't bother getting another reliever up there for that game.
They couldn't get him there in time, they said. That was their thing.
Let me finish, but they're bringing up three guys today. One guy's coming from Binghamton.
Right. Peterson is up, and who the other ones today? I know Peterson's up.
Two other guy, Buddy, somebody or other.
Peterson is up today. I didn't see anybody. And Mets have called up Tim Peterson, who will join the team in Atlanta. He's put up 3.58 ERA in 22 games. He's pitched 27 in the third innings for Las Vegas. Struck out 40.
A major league team can't say we can't get somebody. Get somebody in a private jet, and I'm not joking.
Well, the problem is that's why the Mets, their farm system.
They solved it for next year.
Well, they had to. The farm system being in Vegas has been a real problem for them, a huge problem. It's absolutely logistically a mess having it because they can't get players there that fast. Matt in Manhattan, what's up, Matt?
Yeah, hey, would you agree that the Yankees bullpen is grossly overrated?
Compared to whom? Compared to
Not
what
so much
bullpen?
compared to what it was supposed to be, which was supposed to be phenomenal.
Well, I think what has happened is a couple of guys have gotten hurt. Obviously, with Warren and Canely getting hurt.
Do you think Canely and Robertson have trade value?
I don't. I think Robinson has some, although he's had a bad year. Canely, I wouldn't say high. Obviously, they have in Chapman and Green two guys. Well, Chapman's an A-plus closer, so we know that.
Chapman, Green, and Betances when he's on.
And Betances is hot and cold now. He's hot and cold. Somebody would think
that. Bring back Miller next year, sign him.
No, I mean I don't think so anymore. Miller's been hurt, and he's been hurt a lot this year. So he's been hurt last year. He's hurt this year. So I don't think so anymore. I don't think that will happen. But they do have depth in this bullpen. There's no question. They could use a lefty of quality. We know that. Other than their closer, of course. I'm talking about another lefty to get out one batter. We know their closer is a superb pitcher. A lot of the key is Green and Betances being on. I mean, that is also a very big deal for them. There's a fire at Citi Field? What do you mean?
There are videos out from news reporters about a fire at Citi Field.
What part of Citi Field is on fire? Is it the field area?
No, not the field area. It's like one of the entrances.
Well, can you see which one it is? Can you see the name over the entrance or what name it is? What entrance it is? Well, no.
No, just one of the right by the Citi Field sign. It looks like
on the outfield side or on the other side of the stadium where you go in, like on the parking lot side.
Yeah, parking lot side.
Like where we go in, the Hodges entrance there, right there, or the main entrance.
The angle doesn't really give it to you.
Okay, so is this like a big fire?
It doesn't look. It's hard to speculate. It doesn't look horrifying, but not nothing to sniff at.
All right, so a fire at Citi Field. All right. There's a lot we could say there, but we'll pass. Back after this.